Listen, I know that you are probably not going to understand this, but hear me out. What if Rosa Parks was just playing a role for the government? MLK also colluded with the government to incite a civil war and ultimately bring about our integration into a racist society, systematically racist. And at the bottom it says Claudette Colvin gave up her seat to a white woman 9 months prior to Rosa Parks, but you rarely hear about her, if at all. When you ask if Rosa Parks worked for the government, AI says yes, Rosa Parks worked for the government as an administrative aide and receptionist in the Detroit office of Congressman John Conyers from 1965 to 1988. She received a pension and health insurance. This is Claudette Colvin. After she refused to give up her seat, her life faced a lot of adversity. Here are some quotes from Claudette Colvin. You can pause to read. AI says, yes, Rosa Parks was a charter member of the Alonzo Mitchell Chapter 636 Mizpah Grand Chapter of the Order of the Eastern Star in Alabama. She had ties to Freemasonry. The Order of the Eastern Star is a fraternal organization associated with Freemasonry. You know, when I was pursuing my undergrad in African and Black studies, a lot of the stories that I heard didn't really add up to me. Of course, I really couldn't speak on it then because I wouldn't have gotten my degree, but I can speak on it now. This is from Stanford. Martin Luther King speaks before Prince Hall Masons in Columbus. King speaks on behalf of the Prince Hall Masons in Columbus, Georgia. Here's papers from the National Registry of Historic Places and Registration Form. This is a Negro Masonic Hall that's on Martin Luther King Boulevard. I just think that is very significant in my opinion. So one could come to the conclusion that the boycott was manufactured as a way to bring about a civil war, a racial divide. Even today, you can still see strategic implementations that result in Black people not liking white people and vice versa. It's like our divide is produced, manufactured, and they show you exactly what they want to show you. And in our history books and our textbooks, these people become our heroes because they play the role so well until they don't. You know John Lewis, right? John Lewis was a Freemason and included in the Masonic Hall of Fame. And of course, here are some other notable Freemasons. Don't get me started on Lewis and Clark. John Lewis, 33rd degree. Here is W.E.B. Du Bois. Here is Booker T. Washington. By 1900, Prince Hall Masonry had become a forum and politicized African Americans with Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois serving as active members. The world is, in fact, a stage. The purposes of this video is not for persuasion, but for information so that you can start to question the nature of your reality. Where do your beliefs come from? If you're not paying attention, you're going to be sucked into another manufactured civil war. This film was released April of this year, 2024.
Would you rather have the black president or the white president who got 1.7 billion off the price? I think they want the white guy. These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there. But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones, you see? That's how far I've come. That's how far I've come. That's a long way, isn't it?
I believe it's imperative that you question the motives of everyone. Because after the release of Civil War, we have a white president nominee or candidate against a candidate who identifies as black. And I'm only using black because it's not really a nationality or a race, but that's not what this video is about. And you already know there's a lot of immigrants that have been led into the United States, creating more chaos into this racial divide. Even the film Civil War speaks about, defending the country about these immigrants and just furthering the racial divide. I've been hearing many talks of, receiving visitors from outer space, but how is that going to take place successfully when you can't even get along with the people that you share your reality with? Racism is marketed every single year, and people keep buying it like the new iPhones that are the same. Unsubscribe. Now, I know that there are a lot of people that are deeply rooted in their held beliefs, causing them to hate somebody else who doesn't look like them. And they release a new slave film every single year. The brainwashing continues, and the narrative is always the same. You come from slavery, hate these people because they put you there. Meanwhile, they actually hide the true lineage of the people today that we call African Americans, my people. And I'm not here to say anybody's inferior or superior. I just say look around and find the similarities. You identify as that, we identify as this. Can we coexist or not? My family was personally involved in the Trail of Tears. The land that I have in Florida is the land that was involved in the Trail of Tears. So I come from a family that has been rooted in this systematic racism. Even the so-called forefathers were immigrants, and they have given my people false hope to cling on to that is disguised as upward mobility, progression. Anyway, again, I invite you to question the nature of your reality and decline the invitation to continually be bamboozled by false history.